Hello, Namaste, and welcome to Agile Exploration Hub. I am your host, Nagesh Deshpande. Coordinating across Agile teams sounds simple until you have 10 teams or more than 10 teams, multiple backlogs, and conflicting priorities. So, in this episode of Agile Exploration Hub, we will talk with Sonali, a founder, a safe trainer who helps many global giants to grow their business. She mastered the art of product management in Scaled Agile framework. She explains how product managers connect vision to execution, align multiple teams, and deliver real business outcome at scale. So, if you are aiming to move into product owner or product management roles, this episode will provide you a real world roadmap to lead confidently in scaled agile framework. So, without wasting much time, let's welcome Sonali.
Hi, thank you, Nagis. Thank you for having me on the show. It's a great pleasure talking to like-minded people who are doing something in the agile background. And yeah, you already introduced me. I'll take just a second.
Sure.
More than my designation and more than the job role I do, I take pride in working with the founders of startups and MSME business who bring a lot of products. It can be physical or software, though I'm not expert in the physical product yet. But then in the software product and then the MVP creation, product road mapping, and doing a lot of analysis. I have good experience and I'm supporting right now UK government, and then I'm one of their mentors for their startup hub. And I also support three individual startup hub in Odisha in India, mentoring. I would say like different product companies and then strategizing how they should look into the market. Thank you again.
Amazing, amazing. Tons of experience. I also she has expertise dealing with different stakeholders, not just in person as well as the geographically distributed teams. So many more things to discuss with Sonali today. Without wasting much time, let's hit on today's episode. So, uh, my first question today for you is like, what is the real role of product management in scaled agile setup?
Yeah, as we work right now beyond small size team agile and we are scaling, the companies are becoming larger and larger, the projects are larger now. So in the context of like scaled agile, I would say product management is something that owns the outcome. It's not about like what you are doing, not about like stacking the requirement and just doing the process can be like, oh, you're figuring out a lot of thing in the process and gaps, but product management is the actual thing of owning the outcome, like what you are giving to the market, to the customer, what is the value that you are delivering. So in large program, so the definition remains same while the process and the steps evolve. So in the product management or product managers, we intend to bring strategic intent to like prioritize set of customer priorities. So we look into like a lot of details of customer facing issues. uh, it's not like one time done and then done and dusted. It is
Right.
about continuously looking into their background, continuously looking into their business processes, talking to, if we get opportunity, talk to the real customer, understand the problems, and whatever and however information we get, we process that information in a structured input format, and we engage our IT or engineering team to brainstorm about new ideas and how can we bring something very, very interesting. I have been working lately on the insurance, and then my recent experience has been with a factory automation. This was my first ever experience in that. And we are like kind of building a software for robots and conveyors. And when I went to the factory, I realized that whatever the formal requirements we have and what we are building has much more challenges to put it in the factory and make it operational. So it is about like looking in and out of everything in the process and then improvising and then building something real meaningful, real useful to our real customers.
Right. So a product, something which is a customer, and be it a B2B, B2C, any customer is using hands-on. Yeah,
Yeah,
they are using day in, day out, they are gaining value out of it. And that's
totally.
where the product managers,
Yeah,
plays a
yeah.
crucial role here. because they
Yeah.
have to understand the needs of the customer and how, not just the needs, but also the product, what value they are delivering.
Yeah.
Now, I just wanted to understand because most of the my audience works in a Scrum. Okay.
Yeah.
And Scrum is like something a lightweight, very small framework compared to Scaled Agile. Now, how different it is, like a product manager role in Scrum and product manager role in Scaled Agile.
Yeah, it's been like years, I think more than 10 years now, industry has opted and adapted working in Agile. And while working in Agile, it can be like the mindset, the way of doing things. But how do you do the things can be different. So if you are starting up with a small team, there are different frameworks that companies can adapt. Like it can be Scrum, Kanban, or if you're looking for a feature-driven development where you target specific feature, you wanted to kind of deliver it, and then you wanted to take it into consideration that how do you want it to work. But when you start with a small size team, in my experience, I have worked greatly on Scrum, and this is a framework has a lot of detailing. You will find a lot of inputs, case studies, and testimonials about it. Easier to implement because have a lot of instructions in the market. But going forward, it depends again type of project. If you're working for a migration project, for a modernization project where you're doing the facelift of the legacy application, or if you're working on something like which is like very critical, you do not know, your daily priorities keep changing, Kanban also works fine. So but when you work in one or two teams, that might be easier. But when you scale up, when you go more than two three teams, and then you have a lot of inter team dependencies, tackling that is one of the challenges with some of these frameworks. But yes, we have passed like 10 years on the execution of these frameworks. We have found out ways. There are like scrum of scrum events, there are PO sync events where like we get together and discuss all the issues regularly. So one thing is about finding the issues, finding the dependency, finding the risk, and the second thing is about like tackling it. So both of it we can do while working. But and then like we can scale once we are mature on our frameworks, once we understand working in Agile, we understand like how important this is to give us some meaningful outcome in a very fast track mode. Then we can scale up later. But yeah, to answer your question, so there are frameworks which work well for small size team like Scrum, Kanban, FDD. We can bring on engineering practices like
Right.
more of test driven development, behavioral driven development, and additional add on to that.
Nice. Yeah, you briefly touched based on few of the challenges, but what are some of the typical or I will say the the more challenging things that product manager face while dealing with multiple teams or multiple backlogs?
So yeah, so of course, if there is no challenges, there's no room for hiring more stronger and experienced product managers like us. So the challenges are meant to be. So the most important challenges that I have seen in my career are because the market is evolving. There are new tools are introduced. There are new technology like AI came maybe 2 years before, and the whole environment changed. Like the whole game space changed, right? So getting the requirement very clear from the get-go is a very big challenge. We do not get a lot of requirement upfront, which is also part and parcel of working in Agile. We are absolutely accept changes. But another thing is about like constantly evolving, looking for opportunity to include a lot of AI into the processes, a lot of cloud infrastructure into the processes, complex environment, and then like more when you are building a bigger product, you have like bigger challenges like multiple teams, multiple things, and we are integrating together. That has been more practical experience. But saying that, I would say some of it like also comes to when we are building global products and then we are launching the products in more than one country or five countries, and we are also trying to localize that, and we are wanting to make it work best for the local customer. And then we organize and arrange it to align with the culture, and we wanted to optimize the product, and there comes another type of challenge. So it goes a lot of relentless prioritizations, a lot of like visibly working on the dependency management, and then making sure we have feedback loops that can feed you forward on what need to be changed. So that will help you tackle these challenges on the go.
Nice, nice, nice. And then like say, Scaled Agile framework has these agile release trains, right?
Yeah.
So how do agile release trains change the way product decisions are made now?
Yeah. So I'm sure a lot of your viewer are aware of what is Agile Release Train. So it is a virtual organization inside a bigger organizations working in a to solve a particular problem, a business case. So mostly the arts force decision into cadence because the larger, bigger piece of work that need to be done has to be broken down into cadence-wise delivery. So we do this PI, which we used to call program increment, and now it's planning interval, which is generally like your 4 to 6 iterations. So it takes 2 months to 2.5 months to 3 months duration, depending on the company. And then this cadence is which help us to plan very precisely that what we are targeting, what is most important thing for our customer right at the moment that we can take it. So the PI planning and the program boards, right, where we map out the teams and their inter-team dependencies, their trade-offs, and what is explicit dependencies or issues that we have to tackle now. So those kind of help us to do that. But you can see like in that program board, you can see which team feature or the dates are having challenges. You can organize around it, you can resequence it, you can like split the scope, deprioritize some of the things which no longer holds priority. So I think it is also like having versatile leadership on the top of the art, looking at what is going into the cadence planning, and constantly during the cadence, looking at what requirement, what prioritization, what blocker, what issues, what is right now that we have to deal. And policing with time is important, and I think that's the best way to deal with it, in my experience.
Right. So like, is it like continuous refinement on all the?
Yeah, I think relentlessly looking at
Hmm.
what is now, what is blocking, are we
Right.
moving in the right direction? So your direction check and also checking like all the blockers. So removing everything that is blocking your team to progress is crucial.
Right. And the feedback loop also will be very small here because we are frequently checking and working on our correction of our path.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And then can you share any practical examples that how prioritization, priorities are aligned across the multiple teams?
Hmm. I have been working in larger, complex, messy programs lately, and I would like to bring an example of a client where we were building a reporting feature. It
Hmm.
wasn't a high priority feature until we had a lot of things working. We wanted to create this dashboard and report because if anything you cannot measure, you cannot progress, right?
Right.
Or improve. So we wanted to build on a customized reporting feature for this customer, and where we wanted to authenticate the data, and then the data were coming in the pipeline. So we had the CI/CD cycle. And so in that case, we while building these reports, initially we had some of the KPIs shortlisted after multiple discussion with the customer, and we initially wanted to define what is like minimum client usable outcomes because it changes client to client. And then once we had that, we broke into like vertical slides, like how do we extract data, where is data is stored right now, how do we fetch it, what is the type and form of the data. And then like we right now is integrating Power BI dashboards on our existing ADO dashboard. So like we wanted to create a custom leadership dashboard, which will actually give the information that the busy leaders just wanted to see to make certain decisions. So we kind of like put the whole this reporting feature into a specific two cadence, and then tackled based on the data team was focusing on data extract. There was a UI team focusing on different kind of forms and the UI formats. We created some wireframes to discuss with the customer, and then bring all the workarounds and make all the changes, and then like we did that. We built the report in cadence. As I was like the first cadence, we built very much necessary KPIs they would like to track, and then on top of that the next cadence came the additional information. So yeah, so this was like not as simple as sounds maybe in my answer, but then it was complex. But then, yeah, we got through it and then got a lot of appreciation from our customer.
Nice. Nice. Interesting story. Yeah.
Okay.
And then want to understand, how can organization avoid misalignment between the strategy, product, and execution?
Yeah, very interesting question. Thanks for the question. So I think like when we are building a product at the initial get-go, we do not have sufficient um, direction and sufficient information to make measurable decisions. But in my experience, what I have said is like we tie the fund, we look into the objective of the measurable outcomes. Like we are clearly defining what the customer want, like what is that exact tangible outcome they would like out of the whole exercise. And then like we keep a single shared roadmap and we share with the customer, we review them time to time. So we create this programmed roadmap and then we give exact timelines and then we give them exact tangible outcome at the end of like each cadence.
Right.
Then short customer facing increments like the PI planning that we do like for a quarter, and then like we continuously improve on that. We validate our all assumptions halfway through. We do mid sprint demos at times when we are not very clear, and then we show PI demos where we actually show what has been done, and then like we take the our feedback on it. And we encourage all the change requests. We evaluate impact analysis, risk analysis, dependency analysis along with it. So, like bringing um, lot of catch-ups with the customer who can give you real feedback, plus the engineering team who's actually doing the work. So the communication, if it is at the best, I think a lot of such thing can be avoided, and then the alignment can be really well between the strategy, product, and the execution of the teams.
Right, great. Okay. Before coming on to the last question of the day, just wanted to mention that uh, Agile Exploration Hub really helping or focusing people who wants to grow in their career. So if you are a new Scrum Master, new product owner, want to grow in their career, you know, so this question is mainly for them. Is like, what key skills should a mid-career professional like this develop to thrive as a product manager in SAFe?
Yeah, very interesting question because when I started my career, I'm sure like there were a lot of information out there in YouTube and then on LinkedIn, but probably finding a real good roadmap to from zero to hero situation was difficult. Like to kind of like stitch all the information available to make sure that you're ready for the role is definitely I see a challenge. And I have gone through and I have trained a lot of people in my career who are in the profile of business analysts or wanting to become business analyst or product owners and then product managers, because I come from a background of automation. Eventually I moved into agile roles and then I did scrum master and agile coach role, and then I developed a lot of interest into product because I've worked with a lot of startups, and I wanted to get into more product specific roles. So I think the most important thing that everybody should prioritize is first, are you interested enough for this career?
Right.
If you really want it, like it will show in your actions, and then your action has to align with your intention. So your action can be like daily, like spending out like an hour or two to learn a new skill, and then that skill has to be like outcome focused, meaning like what do I want? Like you can spend 1 hour in watching a YouTube, but if you are very specific that today I wanted to run the product roadmap, then you have to find like probably best viewed and best reviewed a video and then watch it and then take notes on like what did you learn. Like it has to be like outcome focused.
Right.
You also have to have a mentor. I cannot prioritize enough like how much faster you can progress if you have somebody who owns your accountability and checks on you on a regular basis. And the third thing most important is having an environment, like having an environment of people who are like-minded, trying the things and who are in the same journey as you are, finding a new career change, or getting into IT or becoming a founder, right? And then like having those people motivating you, pushing you further, sharing information, giving you market updates, and then giving you different tips and tricks to fast track your career is very important. That's why I have created 3 different groups. These are like dedicated WhatsApp groups for business analysts, product owners, and product manager. I put a lot of content out there, free informations, and for people to stay motivated and do some actions on it. And then I also like do 3 different courses, which is like making them practicing on the real practical questions and the making them ready in their mind, because before it becomes the reality you have to be ready in your brain and then mind. I have groups there. I have a lot of information I'm putting out there. If somebody interested, they can reach out absolutely to me, and I'll be their medium to progress. Maybe like a catalyst for where they wanted to, what they wanted to become. But yes, there are enough information out there, whatever way you choose, but then it is important to act on it.
Absolutely well said. Yeah. See, again, I'll add something here. So
Yeah.
what Sonali said, absolutely agree. I resonate with that. One more thing that, like she mentioned about, you need to pair with the people who have a vision.
Yeah.
You know, so identify your group.
Yeah.
That group should challenge you to do better, 1%
Yeah.
better every day.
Yeah.
Okay. So plan accordingly. And
Yeah.
like Sonali just mentioned about her groups and her trainings and all that, we will provide all the details, contact details, including training details into the description box. Feel free
Yeah.
to connect with her,
To
connect with
connect.
me.
And no string attached. You can learn and go. I'm not asking you to do anything, any course with me, but that's fine.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah. So if you want any help also,
Yeah.
just you like Agile Exploration have a logo of a lighthouse. You just need guidance, some
Yeah.
area. Just connect
Yeah.
with us and we will help you.
Somebody has to be your medium for growth. Yeah.
Exactly. So we are just there to enable you to reach your goal. Yeah. So
Absolutely.
it
Yeah.
was it was pleasure talking to you, Sonali. It was wonderful discussion. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Thank you so much. It was wonderful talking to you too, and real important, powerful questions. Yeah. Hope to see you in next podcast, probably
Yeah,
future.
definitely. So
Yeah.
once again, from the entire audience of Agile Exploration Hub, thank you and bye-bye.
Bye.